What is going on, everybody? And yes, it is that time again. It is time to laugh at and destroy a fanboy. And a lot of you probably don't need any introduction to this particular person, but in case you do, the fanboy we are going to look at today is the Mooch. Now, Mooch is known as a big Xbox fanboy. He is part of the Xbox Mafia, or whatever the fuck they're called nowadays, on YouTube. And pretty much his gimmick is that he's all about being American, and you have to buy American. If you don't buy American, you hate America, and he hates any foreign product, which is kind of funny because he actually owns products that were made outside of the United States, because lots of things nowadays aren't made in the United States anymore because a lot of these companies find it cheaper to get their stuff done and created overseas. China being a very good example. The funny thing is that he's an Xbox fanboy, and most Xboxes are made in foreign countries like China. Kind of funny. But you know what? It hasn't stopped his gimmick whatsoever. He's all about being American. And he was very close to winning Black Bond's Corporate Slave of the Year award. He came very close, but just didn't go that extra mile that others did. Now, don't worry. I'm sure he's got a great shot at it next year, based on what we're going to see right here, because this is really good. So, I was looking at his Twitter because I saw him pop up in the recommended part of Twitter, which I don't know why he would be on mine, but be that as it may, I clicked it because I was in need of a laugh. And if you ever need to laugh, just look at any of these fanboys' Twitters. You will definitely get a laugh here or there. And I noticed he was having this conversation with this guy by the name of Daring on. I don't even know if I pronounced that correctly, so. And it was a pretty lengthy discussion. But there was this one part of this discussion that just really grabbed my attention and just made me laugh so freaking hard at how pathetic this is. And I didn't show the whole conversation here because it's a very long conversation. All of the tweets are still available on his Twitter if you would like to go take a look to see if I'm not taking anything out of context or whatever. I just wanted to talk about this particular part. So, let's look at this. First off, Daring says that PS4 stole 360's user base in most cases, which is true. A lot of people from the 360 jumped ship to the PS4 because Microsoft in the beginning with the Xbox One royally screwed up. It's as simple as that. Mooch responds with, "So you picked up some casuals. Congrats. Keep them. They will buy an Xbox One once they are tired of knack." Okay. In a lot of these cases, I don't think these fanboys even understand what they're even typing before they actually send it out to the internet. Before they actually post it. Because Mooch right here just insulted most of 360's user base. I mean, I thought Mooch was supposed to be an Xbox fan, right? I mean, that's what he's supposed to be. But he just called most of the 360's user base casuals. That's funny. And then he brings up Knack. Who the hell cares about Knack today? Knack was a launch title for the PS4. People have moved the hell on from Knack. Hell, the funny thing is that Knack hasn't even rated highly even by PlayStation gamers. Like, I remember the official PlayStation magazine, they gave it like a 5. A 5 or a 6, I think. Most people didn't like it. No one cares about Knack anymore. So why the hell are you bringing it up? Like, do you know of any other exclusives? I mean, I know these people like to think that there are no exclusives on PlayStation, which is just freaking hilarious by itself. But they don't even name some of the other ones. They always just name Knack and, like, Killzone. Like, old exclusives that nobody really gives a damn about anymore. But anyway, and this guy says that he bought Shovel Knight on Xbox One, and then he also bought Resident Evil Revelations 2 on Xbox One, because at Rainbow, he's paying Xbox a compliment. Of course, that goes right over Mooch's head, and look at what he says here. Look at what he responds with. He responds with, shorthanded, Xbox One can be called X1 if Xbox One is too long. Oh my God. He got personally insulted because this guy called the Xbox One the X-Bone. Wow. He got personally insulted because somebody abbreviated the name of the console to make it fit on Twitter, because Twitter has a 140 character limit. Wow. It's almost like that he thinks that the Xbox One is a person and that it has feelings and that he feels the need to defend it because its feelings might be hurt. Wow. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Actually, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of in the WWE in 2001. There was a wrestler that went by the name of Perry Saturn. And at the time, he had a gimmick where he carried around a mop. And he called the mop Moppy. And Moppy was his special friend. And he loved Moppy. So much so that when Moppy was stolen from him by, I think it was Raven who stole it from him, and threw it in a wood chipper, he completely broke down like someone murdered his girlfriend. Yeah, that actually happened in WWE. But this is what this reminds me of. It's like Mooch thinks that the Xbox One is his girlfriend. And that he feels the need to have to defend it because you might hurt its feelings. It's a fucking console that's made of plastic. It doesn't have feelings. It doesn't care. It's not a person. Oh my God. Okay, and then this guy says, sorry to insult your console by a nickname. Even this guy sees the hilarity of this. And then Mooch says, it is insulting. You call yourself a gamer? Then know the educate. I don't know what the hell he was trying to say at the end there. I really don't. Like, I'm assuming he meant to say that you need to be educated. But even if he said that, there's no official terminology on what to call these consoles. And what we have nicknames for them. There's no official rules. There's no official nicknames. If somebody wants to call the Xbox One the X-Bone, they can. If they want to call it the Giant VCR, they can. If they wanted to call it the Xbox 720p, they can. They can call it whatever the hell they want. Just as people can call it whatever they want to call the Wii U and the PS4. There's no rules. And, like, it's insulting. You hurt its feelings. You hurt my Xbox One's feelings. How dare you? How dare you? Oh God, okay. And then Mooch also says that calling it X-Bone is a backhanded compliment. Did I call the PS4 the Piss S4? Okay. Let's break this down. First off, the guy called it the X-Bone to make his post fit on Twitter, because once again, Twitter has a character limit. And as far as I know, X-Bone isn't an insult. How is it an insult? Can someone tell me why calling the Xbox One X-Bone is an insult. However, if you call the PS4 the Piss S4, that actually is an insult, because when you use the word piss and pissing, referring to a product, it means you're pissing on that product. So yes, that actually is a factual insult. And by the way, why the hell would you even use Piss S4 on Twitter when that's even longer than PS4? The guy called it X-Bone to make it shorter. You use Piss S4 and it makes it longer. It defeats the whole fucking purpose. I don't know why I'm looking into it that much, because it just drives me crazy. Just drives me crazy. And then, of course, the guy says, it's not enough characters on Twitter to make me call it X-Bone. You know that's a derogatory comment towards the system. How dare you? X1 is shorter than X-Bone. I solved your issue for future tweets. He took it so personally. He took it so personally. It's like you made fun of his girlfriend or his best friend. Oh my god. And then, of course, Daring says, really is the handbook of video game insult terminology. Which is what I just said. There is no official handbook or rulebook on video game terminology. There really isn't. You can call these systems whatever the hell you want. And of course, you're getting more pathetic, dude, which honestly he really isn't, because he's already been more pathetic. I don't know how much more he can get. Of course, he can prove me wrong. I mean, it's not the first time these fanboys have proven me wrong. And then, here's the kicker here. Here's the kicker. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're a scumbag, and no gamer that I need to know moving forward. Blocked. Blocked. Oh my god. And it's funny that these fanboys get so much satisfaction out of their lives when they hit that block button on Twitter. Because it makes them feel like that they just own someone, when in reality, it makes them look even more pathetic than they already do. Now, you know the funny thing is about the whole blocking part of this is that I've actually been on that side before with other people on Twitter. I've basically been in Daring's shoes here. Like, there was this YouTuber that's named Solid Rev who I attempted to pretty much correct him on a statement he made about wrestling, and he pretty much couldn't handle it, and then pretty much did the same thing. And it's funny how a lot of these guys pretend to be tough guys on the internet, and a lot of them have these big muscles, and they look like they're tough, but in reality, they're little cowards who have to hit the block button when they can't properly debate. Yeah, I find that kind of funny, how it's these guys that they look tough, but in reality, they're not. It's funny. You would think the guys with the muscles would be the toughest guys on here. You would think. And then I remember another time where I was blocked by a comedian by the name of Liza Schlesinger. Schlesinger, I think that's how you pronounce her name. Or Eliza Schlesinger. Because she did an interview on a local radio morning show that I listen to every weekday. And there was an incident there. I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but pretty much she made a joke and didn't realize that it personally affected one of the radio show guys. And instead of apologizing, going, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend, I didn't know what happened in your life, I'm sorry, she just flipped her gasket and just cursed on air and then stormed out. And of course she went to Twitter and tried to defend herself, and all I said to her was, you didn't know, you really should have apologized, you screwed up, just admit it. And then of course I just went back to her Twitter later on and just found out I was blocked. She never said anything to me, and then I just was blocked. It's really funny when a comedian has to resort to blocking, because, these comedians, they're supposed to be the people that can pretty much dish it out on anyone they see fit. But it seems like some of them can't take it back, even in a small ounce of criticism. It's kind of funny. Now, by no means am I saying that you should never block anyone. The only people that I would condone blocking really are bots, because, well, they're bots. They're not real. And people who really just say nothing but racial and sexist stuff towards you, because there's really no point in having a discussion with those people if they go down that route to begin with. Because if they had a real point to make, they wouldn't need to make racist and sexist comments. So I'm fine with blocking those type of people, but blocking someone just because they proved you wrong? That makes you pathetic. It honestly does. So, I think that's about it. Just let me know what you think about this whole thing. I just find all this stuff really hilarious. So, alright. Till next time, you all have a good one.